Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Is late better than never? All right, so I decided to finally show up and do a morning podcast. It's still actually only 8:39 here, so technically still morning. But yesterday I hung out in the Thyme in the Studio podcast with Sarah Marie Miller, and she is all about self-care. And so this morning I was like, all right, girl, it's time to wash your hair and shave your pits. So I did some self-care, and I also changed the sheets on my bed. And I mean, that's a form of self-care, you know. You don't need to be sleeping in sand. Like, I don't even live at the beach. How did I get sand in my bed? So, all right. So, yeah, I decided now to show up. But, yeah, yesterday was really fun. No one ever really asked to interview me before. So, I, of course, had to say yes, especially because it was Sarah, Thyme in the Studio. Check it out. She's so kind and compassionate, and I don't know. I told her in the podcast she was like truth serum. So yeah, Sarah, you are like truth serum. Like I think I talked too much. But I guess that's my nature. But yeah, it was good. And I'm excited for that to come out in a couple weeks. And yeah, it was like real good energy. And it reminded me of a few things, you know, that I want to get back to. Like I went off on a tangent about making herbal shampoo. I need to get back on that. Yeah, like any harping I ever do, it seems like I'm harping at other people, but actually I'm harping on myself. So yeah, I'm definitely guilty for that. So, but the really funny thing was I was so hyped for it, like so excited that after it was done, I actually had to take a nap like that afternoon. I was like, where did my energy go? Like, I don't know if I adrenaline dumped or something, but I was like, I have to lay down now. And I was like out, and like one of those like things where you just like fall into the deepest nap. And like you wake up in your own drool, and it's like, okay, I needed that, I guess. And then I did force myself to get up, run those errands, get my chickens their food, because that's my responsibility. And I also did some other shopping with my daughters, and we went to like an Amish Bent Dent. That was fun. And we went to GW, Goodwill, and bought toys we didn't need. Like, I need to shop alone. Do you ever have that experience when you're like, wait a second, I need to shop alone? But it was fun. It was fun. The only problem is I came home without bananas. Like, when you're shopping for hours and you come home and you're like, damn it, I forgot the bananas. So now the smoothies are not going to be as creamy, but we'll just frozen berry it up. So yeah, that was my yesterday, and then I took the girls swimming at an indoor pool in the evening. So yeah, I think I definitely needed to just, you know, take a slower morning. I've not been using my alarm. I don't know if you remember my alarm saga, but it was interfering with my future ex-husband's morning schedule. So now I'm sort of just tuned in to when I hear the door close, and he's out, and then I'm up. So, but it's, you know, it's like a more fluid of a rising for me. And I like that because I want to get enough sleep and feel rested. But I also get kind of ticked off at myself when I miss those wee morning hours. So I think I got up at 6:30 today, but honest to God, like 5:30 would be better. But 6 is all right, I guess. We'll just try to shoot for a 6, like actually getting up at 6. So maybe if I wake up, just note to self, how about you like wake up at 5:30 and just hang in bed for a while and write in your dream journal, which it's not even a journal. I just scribbled like one line of I can't really describe my dreams very well, so I have to get better at that. And my daughter is like, just explain the story. And I was like, yeah, but it's not always a story for me. So I don't know. My dreams are weird. Like last night, my daughter, who's going to turn 12, was waitressing. And she came home and I was like, where's your tips? And she like didn't claim her tips. And I was like, yeah, but you just did all that work. Like you should have brought your tips home. I don't know. It was like so weird. Like why am I forcing my 12-year-old daughter to waitress? Was I? I didn't feel like I was forcing her in the dream, but she was. And where the hell are the tips? Bring that money home. So yeah, like I mean, my dreams definitely, I'm starting to see like messages like, oh, maybe I dreamt about that because I am kind of, watching the money, like yesterday I'm watching the money go down. And also for Herbal Marie, like right now I don't have any sponsors. Anchor's pulling some shit. Sorry, Anchor, but seriously, I feel like you owe me back. I feel like Anchor owes me back pay for my ads. Before they took them off, they weren't paying me. So I don't know. Eventually, I'm sure they'll square up with me. But because when you watch the digits, and it wasn't even watching the digits. It's just that it was a significant number for me. And I was like, oh, hey, I love that number. Well, 2 days later, it was still that number. And I was like, wait, you're not paying me. So it's not even that I was like watching it like a psycho. Like I just happened to notice because my favorite number did not change. So anyways, right now the podcast is playing without, making any money. And I don't really care. But, part of me, my ego, does care. The part of me that needs to buy bananas does actually care. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to do some work about that. That's Sarah and I talked about that yesterday, getting out of lack consciousness. Like we just touched upon it. We talked about so much. Like did we even like talk enough about herbs? I guess well there was other stuff to talk about. Yeah, she's definitely a solstice star for sure. Very kindred spirit. And actually, I told her that today I will pull some cards for her. So I'm going to do a message for Sarah Marie Miller of the podcast Thyme in the studio. So that'll be fun. I just wanted to warm up here. And because I like to be in a good place before I pull cards for other people. And it was so fun hanging out with you, Sarah. That was really fun. Like it's interesting to try to like get two schedules to line up and plan a time. Like I think that was, if anything was exhausting, it was the actual like just making sure like everyone was like, the kids, you good? Okay, I have to like sneak away for an hour. And like dogs, could you please shut up like for the next hour? And even during the hour, they like definitely barked downstairs, and I'm like, hitting their buzzer collar like to be like, be quiet. So like that was a little bit like, of course, stressful. So I don't even know how someone does a podcast like the interview style podcast. It seems like you have to have a lot of patience in networking and coordinating. And I mean, that's why my solo act, I can sneak off and, do it in chunks if I need to, like, okay, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, like I'm going to do right now. Okay, yeah, I had to pour myself a cup of tea so it would cool down sometime today so I could drink it. But I also had to think about what decks I wanted to pull for Sarah. And yesterday, she says she loves this podcast. She loves both my podcasts, but she really likes Herb Oracle. Yeah, it is really different, this podcast compared to Herbal Marie. Herbal Marie's more, produced and kind of put together usually. It's more of a production. And over here, it's like another day, another dollar. Like, this is just how I am today. But this podcast, it is really good for me to talk it out every day. Because if I get in the habit of not talking, my inner hermit will take over, and then I'll quit. I'll be done. So Herb Oracle is kind of like insurance for me to keep my mouth open at least once on the daily, at least once. So yesterday, Sarah and I talked about flower essences, and I told her, okay, I have a flower essence deck. It's flower essences and archetypes, and it's called Power of Flowers by Isha Lerner. And it says an archetypal journey through nature. So it doesn't like come out and say like flower essences on the cover of this, but that's what they are. And she has a little description of the flower essence in each reading. Then we also talked about this new deck that I got, which really isn't an herb deck, but I'm going to pull it in today because she was really interested like what these pictures look like from the Hubble. It's called First Light Tarot. It has 22 majors, 22 insights, and 22 spread cards. I'm not going to pull out the spread cards today. It's by Dina Roseberry. But I will pull you either an insight card or a tarot card. We'll see what comes through. And we'll see what kind of a spread I can make too. So, all right. So I think we're going to leave this up to the universe because she didn't give me a specific question, although if it's in my email, I didn't check it. But yeah, this is always fun for me to pull cards, especially now, like after speaking to someone. The oracle readings I've done before, I just went on a question or, a picture of the person maybe. Some people don't even have profile pictures with their face. So yeah, that was kind of fun. Now this is different. So let me shuffle these cards, get them warmed up. It's different, like having like a full conversation and having like a good sense of her energy and who she is. Of course, it was mostly me talking, which was weird, right? Like getting question after question. Like at the end, I felt like, oh, you should have asked more questions to her. But it was like, no, you're getting interviewed, dummy. But Sarah would be a good one to ask questions right back at her and listen to what she has to say because she is so interesting. So it felt like a little like one-sided, but I was like, oh, I guess that's what an interview is. So anyways, thanks again, Sarah. I'm going to shuffle these ones, just get them this is a brand new deck. I mean, I've hardly worked with this one, so that will be interesting. We'll have to see what I'll have to refer to the book a little bit maybe, but it's pretty short and quick. But so I think what I'm gonna do is got my desk a little bit odd today, working at a different angle, trying something new, see if I can activate a different part of my brain, switch things around. We talked about minimalism yesterday. We talked about all kinds of stuff, and definitely some herbs and remedies. Oh, and then one of the most interesting questions that she asked me that I was not prepared for was like, how does she even ask it? Like, if you were an herb, which herb would you be? Basically. And of course I didn't even like think about it. I just let whatever blurt out like I do. And I blurted out stinging nettle. I guess I'm having a stinging nettle phase in my life. But I hope if like Sarah and I hang out in like a year from now and she asks me, I hope that like I'm having a rose stage of my life or Althea officinalis. Like I'd rather be marshmallow or something. But yeah, a little truth just flew out of my mouth. Stinging nettle. Understandably so. I mean, like, even today, like, I have this sense where, like, my ego is like, hey, give me something to worry about. Like, I just feel like a little bit like, wow, I do have some things I could be stressed out about if I chose to feel like that, just a few things that I have to get done, and the crumbling of my marital tower, and like ego's like, I could worry about that for you. I could get angry. I could do this. I could do that. So, I mean, I really do need to make sure I'm watching my energy today. And so, yeah, that was such a great convo with Sarah, and she got me thinking about a lot of things. All right, so this reading is for Sarah at Thyme in the studio. I'm gonna pull, actually, you know what? I lied to you. I said I wasn't gonna pull out those spread cards, and I lied to you. I am going to. So this is what makes this deck so unique. She has 22 question cards. That, like, if you just, some of them say like near future, who may help, who should I, what should I do, who should I do? So funny. All right, I don't know. You do you, girl. You do you. So maybe it might be fun. I'm going to actually shuffle these questions. I'm not even going to look at them. So for this deck, I'm going to see if this works. If it doesn't work, hey, that's how we figure things out, right? Oh, and that's the other thing. Like, I did share a few things yesterday that were kind of negative experiences that I had, you know, with teachers or mentors in my life. And I was thinking about that. Like, I only share that those experiences because they were valuable to me. So, like, if you've ever had somebody rub you the wrong way, or like, I don't know if she'll put it in, but like one time I called into Susan Weed's podcast to ask a question about stinging nettle, and she basically bit my head off and was so rude. And anyways, long story short, it was so valuable to me when I think about it and reflect on it, because it gave me the experience of what it's like to be treated like that. And ultimately it made me decide that I would never do that to anybody. So if I am in a situation where I'm teaching or sharing or, you know, conversating, I want to treat people with kindness and respect. And if I ever get to the point where I'm tired of people asking me the same damn questions over and over and over again, you know, which probably was the case with her, then I know it's time to step out. But yeah, I mean, sometimes when people are rude to you, isn't, like, the good thing about that is you're like, oh, that really sucked. I'll never do that to anybody. Like, I'm glad I had that experience because, you know, it made me want to be a nicer person. All right, so first of all, let's get some questions for, two flew out. Let's get another question for Sarah. Okay, two more questions. Now, we'll see how they flew out. We've got, what's the querent? What's that mean? Okay, we've got first step, present, querent. Does that mean you? And others looking in. Okay. So we'll do querent first. Does that mean you? Who's asking? So that's Sarah. A card that represents Sarah. Okay. Then we're going to do others looking in. I think I'll just do the order that I pulled them in. Present, and then first step. Okay, so here's your spread at the top. First, it says querent, which I hope that I am understanding that means who's asking. Sarah's asking. This is for Sarah. Okay, so first we're going to pull a card that represents Sarah from Thyme in the Studio. Then we're going to pull a card about how others may perceive you, others looking in. Then something about your present vibration. And lastly, we'll do the first step, like maybe a direction that you want to go from here. Okay, then what I'll do is I will shuffle the Power of Flowers Oracle, and we'll just follow these questions with the flower essences and see. I don't know. If nothing else, you'll get some cool messages, but we'll see if it even lines up. We'll see, cards. Don't let me down. All right. Okay, so let's pull a card about Sarah. Okay, so the one that came in is it's upside down, and it's Temperance, Balance. So it came in a little bit upside down right now. So maybe you're not quite exactly evenly balanced in your energy right now. This also has the words at the bottom: miracles, combinations, and environments. But you got number 14, the Temperance card, upside down, balance. So we will look more into that like after I'm done shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Okay. All right. So let's see what others looking in, how might they perceive Sarah? Others looking in. Okay, this one, I wish I could take a picture of this. This one is jumping out from the middle, like to the side at me from the middle of the deck. Is my shuffling all these upside down? This one's also upside down. No, they're not. Okay, you got the Hanged Man. So this is a message about crossroads, number 12. Transition, turning points, and decisions. But thinking about how other people see you, I would say that when other people are at this, when they're confused, they call you and see what your opinion is. I mean, because you do have a good ear, so maybe how others looking in, I don't think that they see you as confused. I see that they see you as someone who could help them when they are feeling like they just maybe need to talk out a turning point, like they just have a decision to make, and you could be their sounding board. What's interesting is you got the Temperance card upside down, that maybe you're not quite as balanced as you want. Maybe that's a physical thing. Maybe that's, you're just looking for balance. So we all are. That's what we want. But people see you as someone, that they can turn to for sure. But I'll read from the card, the Hangman. That'll be interesting. Okay, so your present moment for Sarah. Present moment for Sarah. Okay. This is so weird. You're getting all upside down cards. And they're not all upside down as I look through the deck. Okay. You got the Magician, the Performer. So this is all about creativity, power, illusion. The Magician, creating your reality that you want. So this is your present moment. Like, you are in an opportunity to create, going back to maybe it is going to be finding your balance that's going to help you create, or if you are feeling like things are just a little bit, I'm just fixing these cards, they're really pretty. If you are feeling like you need more balance in your life, that could be holding up your Magician performance, your creativity. So it is really, really essential that, it's so essential that we walk our talk. Because, we love to talk about herbs and self-care and, positive thinking and clarifying our minds, but are we actually doing it, I talked so much about, herbal shampoo and washing with herbs yesterday, and then I got up this morning and I was just, so tired, I used Salon Selectives. Do you know what I mean? So it's oh, God, I have to walk my talk a little bit better. And, but it is all about balance too. Like, we are doing the best that we freaking can. We're trying to be creative individuals and yet still pay the rent. It's quite the interesting, balancing act. Absolutely. So you got the Temperance card and the Magician. So yeah, like, that is totally telling me your life could be a balancing act right now. All right. So next card is the first step, and I'm going to shuffle it again. The first step for Sarah, what do you think? The first step. And then we'll get more clarification, of course, when we pull the flower essences. First step. First step. Okay. Yay, it's not upside down. You got number 20, which this is my 20th episode, FYI. I just thought of that. Oh, and that's what the card is, thought. Your first step is your thought. So your first step is communication. It is communication with yourself, with your higher self, with your thought process. Like, you are powerful, girl. You are powerful. You got to make sure that you are clarifying your mind and directing your thoughts and directing your focus and keeping your thoughts as either neutral or positive as you can. So yeah, that'll help bring it into balance. Yeah, neutrality is an awesome, awesome, awesome thing. Telling you from my perspective of being a judgmental bitch a lot of the times, like, it is a beautiful thing to be able to move into neutrality and just start to see things from a detached observer type of way. So yeah, your first step is your thoughts. So as you try to balance yourself, as you are honing your creativity and focusing it and managing it and, just letting it flow, it is your mental state, your thoughts that are going to be so influential and so powerful and really direct your life in the direction that it's going, and it can go. So yeah, this is a great reminder for me too. Like, oh my gosh, like, sometimes I just think, get back to the basics and get journaling positive things. Like, I love this, I love that, this made me happy, blah, blah, blah. Like, be obnoxiously positive just to help balance out that kind of negatively focused ego. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to be such a cornball writing in this journal about how much I love the color of the paint on the walls or whatever, like, everything that I love I have to write down, because I have to do that much work to balance out this kind of negative attraction thing that I have sort of summoned with my judgments and doubt. I don't know why the word doubt just popped into my mind. But anyways, let me grab the book here. These cards are fun for sure. Okay, so the Temperance card, that was number 14. That was the card that was about you. Let's see. This card's in Sagittarius. Remember that a miracle is always just right around the corner, but you have to get to the corner. So you have to get to the corner. There's a miracle waiting for you right around the corner, but you have to get to the corner. So yeah, this card is in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius traits are positive, distinctive, but they could also be reckless, haughty, and rash. And this was upside down. This was reversed. So this kind of says the magic formula is off and does not produce reliable outcomes. Time to clean up the mess. Okay, so we were kind of talking about like clutter yesterday. So that's a good reminder, like clean up any type of clutter in your life. Clean up any type of clutter in your mind. Like, time to clean up the mess if there is one. Maintaining a balance has not always been an easy task for outworlders. This happens because the number of variables that are evident during any kind of contact are far-reaching, bringing varied outcomes, some good, some not. If you interact with the universe, remain as balanced as possible so that you do not upset your life by adding the universe's magic to yours before you are ready for it. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, I read that book, Making Love to God, and it was like, yo, that's what it said, yo. Before you let loose or invite in Kundalini energy, or just, the energy of the universe, make sure you're ready. Make sure your mind is ready. Make sure your body's ready. Because if not, like, that's what happens. People get too much universal energy flowing through them. Then they get freaked out. They fall into fear. It's too much. They have to take a nap. Like, they just can't keep up with it. Or it's just really overwhelming. So yeah, remember that a miracle is always right around the corner, but you have to get to the corner first. So everything that we want in our life is like literally right around the corner. But you have to get there first and make sure you're ready. So that's pretty interesting because, like, I've heard, like, Ananda say to Tina Louise Spalding, like, fame is coming for you, like, popularity is coming for you, but you need to be actually, like, ready for it. So, like, if you want, like, to step into the limelight and, like, for example, like, get a lot of publicity for your podcast or your art, or you got a lot of projects going on, your healing offerings, make sure you're ready for it. Make sure that your body's really feels strong. Make sure your mind is clear. Make sure you're balanced. Okay, so others looking in, we got the Hanged Man reversed. It says, you or someone passes the tests and flings ridicule or ways of self-punishment away. Keep a steady stance and stand away from the tree. Okay, that didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. What? Okay, stay away from the tree if it's storming, I guess. Let's see. Let me just read the advice and we'll see if it says anything that resonates. When one is on one's head, whether in a tree or in any manner of state, the individual is not connected to the earth. Oh, I see what they're saying. Stay away from that tree because there is, like, the rope trap, which is going to hang you upside down. Though it is the goal to have connections to the skies and to the earth, at this crossroads, it's important to stay grounded and connected to your planet. The universe welcomes you outwards, but before you can go out, you must be connected to something within. That would be your home and your heart. Okay, so this is others looking in at you. I would say they do see you as balanced, but because you just got that, like, message from Temperance to, like, get your energy ready, make sure that you are prepared to deal with more people. Yeah, I would say make sure you are prepared to deal with more people. It has a quote here. It says, before the earth gathers more anger, wake. She cries for your connection to her. So yeah, keep connecting with Gaia. You are going to be an assister for other people to connect with the earth, to other people to connect with the healing energies, to connect with the herbs, to connect with the flower essences, to connect with art and creativity. So keep connecting with the earth yourself, because that's where you're going to find your balance. And then, when others are coming to you for support, for encouragement, for help, and for guidance, you'll be able to give that, without without it being too draining. Okay, so moving on to your present moment. You did get the Magician, which is awesome. It is reversed, as the first 3 cards were, but the last one was not. So reversed Magician says, do not let the sneaky inner voices of a lack of self-confidence destroy your hard work. So yeah, that jerk inside your head, he, she, it, whatever, bitch, like that person is inside all of our heads. It's like, oh, you're not good enough for, that was, like, even talking with you yesterday, when I was done, I was like, oh, there was that part of me that was like, should you have said that? Maybe you shouldn't have said that. Like, you probably ran at the mouth way too much. Like, it's like, why are we always trying to self-sabotage our good moments? So I told that bitch to shut up for sure. But yeah, it says, do not let the sneaky inner voices of a lack of self-confidence destroy your hard work. If you don't act, it could. Through the tools of the trade, including your intellect and your speaking ability, though your tools of the trade may seem rusty, you'd better pull the curtain closed around you and pretend you are confident like the great wizard you are. That, leads to the real thing. All right, so basically, you need to keep talking yourself up to yourself, and other people are depending on you to be confident, and because that's what they want in their life. So yeah, like when I went to cosmetology school, I didn't mention that. I forgot about that part of my life. In my 20s, I thought that was a good idea at one point. That could have been a story I shared. Yeah, instead of going to massage school, which everyone talked me out of because, in the early or late 90s or early 2000s around here, it was like, massage therapist, that's not practical. Do someone's hair, So I did that. But anyways, my point is, the motto there is fake it till you make it. Yeah, the people cutting your hair, when they first get out of school, their motto is fake it until you make it. Because, you're going to get better. You just need to practice. But you should always put on that air of confidence no matter what. Because that is what your client is looking for. So the advice is that illusions and reality are the same on earth. It is only the individual who chooses to separate them. Once you make up your mind to understand both your tools and the path you are on, the illusions will turn into visible reality. Be careful to stay alert to the possibility that your reality could become illusion if you do not remain confident and maintain your willpower. So yeah, it's a slippery slope sometimes. And that's why, for me personally, I just get up hopefully 5 days a week and do this podcast because it keeps me pointed in the direction of doing my, quote, real work over at Herbal Marie. But shit, we all know this is probably more beneficial to me over here. So anyways, all of humanity is magic, and all humans are magicians, creating lives, creating love, creating evil. The choice of creation is a joint endeavor. Choose your partners carefully, because any magic that requires negativity to survive will stunt your personal growth. So yeah, clear the clutter. Clear the clutter of your home, of your mind, and yeah, if there's anyone in your social circle that's sort of pulling you down, clear that clutter, friend clutter as well. Okay, last card for this was number 20, which was thought. So this was, no, it wasn't number 20. It was number 2. It was an insight card. But it is number 20 as well. I don't know. This is a new deck for me. Forgive me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. And I'm still on the wrong damn page. Number 20, thought. Here we go. This is actually like this was an insight card. And it's all about communication, which I love because you're a communicator. Okay, the number associated with this is number 2, because 20, 2 plus 0 is 2. And number 2 is a feminine yin number. Number 2 represents the one in the middle, looking at all angles of a situation, tolerance and stamina. So here's your advice from the First Light Tarot. Use intuitive devices to interact with your higher self, to send positive messages and thoughts to others. This raises vibration. If you follow thoughtful intuition, listen carefully because it comes from a higher source. Dismiss all negative thought. Dismiss all negative thought. This lowers your immune system and can cause illness, which, on a personal note, we do have to watch that. If we are letting negative thoughts come into our mind, it's going to affect our body, lower our immunity, and make us more susceptible to infections and overgrowth. All right, so telepathy, or is it telepathy? I don't know, is also something that will soon be within grasp, as this is the form of communication that is used outside our Earth. When you hear a star being, do not push the thoughts away, for they only want to assist in healing. So you might be receiving contact because you're such a high vibe, loving, like you are in your heart space. For the most part, right? There could be some cosmic allies that reach out to offer you assistance. So it's saying, listen to them because they could help with your healing and help yourself heal others. The brain is capable of great light and can send that energy via thoughts to those willing to move forward and grow within a community of universal complexities. Do be aware, though, that not all in the universe will send light. Only listen to positive messages. So dismiss any communication that has any type of suspicious nature. But clean up your mind and guard it to only accept positive light and positive thoughts. And I love that it's encouraging you to send those thoughts to others. So the mind is a very powerful thing. We feel that and experience that with Reiki, and I love the idea of telepathic communication. So keep on working on clearing your mind, because that magician, that communication, that balance, it could really take you into somewhere where you actually never thought would be possible. But that's a pretty exciting card to end on, especially if you're like me and I love thinking about communicating with star beings and as funny as it sounds for us having podcasts, I love the idea of communicating without opening my mouth. Yeah, so you really are a cis star. I mean, you really do have this potential to reach out and connect with the cosmos and connect with the energy of the universe and beings that are perhaps in non-physical or just in another dimension and ready to help humanity on its healing journey. Okay, so the next deck that we're moving on to is the Power of Flowers. And these are the flower essences. Let me give these a little shake. I was just saying how long that last segment was. You could go take a break, drink some tea. But you know what? I want to say that it's so important for us to really watch our thoughts right now. Because even while I was taking a tiny little break, taking a drink of tea, I literally just went from positive thought, consciously, and I let I just had a drink of tea, and then all of a sudden, when I'm not being conscious about what I'm thinking on purpose, a negative thought creeped in, like, oh, Anchor, that jerk, blah 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 blah, still bitching about my ads. Like, our default in our mind isn't actually sometimes set to being positive. I mean, for me anyways. So I really have to, I'm going to ride on your reading, girl, and really remind myself that I have to pump out the positivity in my mind, especially now, like with my life circumstance. And, you know, I'm living in a situation that is like, you know, okay, like living with my future ex-husband, like this really primes me to almost feel unlovable at times. And I gotta watch that. So whatever it is, that whatever your life sometimes primes you to default to, make sure you're taking extra precautions by pumping out the positive. All right, here we go. When you can't stop talking, just sing. That usually wraps it up. Okay, so we're gonna go on. I'm gonna keep on with these querent, others looking in, present, and then first step. So I want to have a flower essence to go with this temperance card, this balancing act that you are going to perform. Miracles right around the corner, girl. You just gotta get to the corner. Okay, so your flower essence for this is hibiscus. Okay, so we have got hibiscus coming through. This is a Hawaiian picture, a Hawaiian goddess. I think this might be Pele. Is that how you say that? Goddess Pele. We've got 2 hibiscus flowers. The volcano looks like it could erupt. Dang, girl. So if you've been holding anything inside, you know, just know that like you either deal with it or it comes out when you least expect it. You know what? Repressed annoyance and frustration, and when you bite your tongue a lot, sometimes that comes out through your skin. So in my experience, if I don't deal with my stuff, then my skin I used to get hives and get itchy and rashes. So I'd learned to deal with my shit because I want my skin to be happy. So Hibiscus Rosa, it's an evergreen shrub. It's native to tropical Asia. The hibiscus, I'm sure you've had this tea. Okay, so the flower essence says, tropical flowers make very potent essences because they are infused with the sun and rainbow-colored air, both of which amplify the soul consciousness, the Devic soul consciousness. Hibiscus essence energizes the first and second chakra, undoing blockages in the lower back and spine and reproductive glands. Hibiscus is also a very good essence for dancers. So that is Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of fire, dancing in front of this volcano with the hibiscus. And so yeah, if you don't already dance, maybe this is an invitation to do that. The hibiscus flower comes to you today, Sarah, as a flaming chalice, inviting you to live your truest passions. The fires of Pele give rise to dancing flames of swirling intensity, leaping toward the heavens. The movement of the flames guide us, showing the way to liberation. The goddess's beautiful dance reveals the physical embodiment of Pele's fire, reminding you that you must ground this energy in your body. Okay, so we asked for our flower essence to go with this reversed temperance card. If you want the balance, you gotta ground the energy from your first and second chakra down into your body, into Gaia. Be anchored. Okay, so I love that. Yeah, before you erupt and shoot out into the heavens, make sure you are grounded. So here's your blessing. Red hibiscus, I greet your flame. Hayaka, I call your name. Teach me your sacred song and dance. My soul, full of passion, you enhance. Okay, so sweet. Let's get your flower essence for the reversed hanged man, which is how others see you. So this might be a good flower essence to deal with people. You can always tell my take on people when I say deal with people, to interact with your fellow humans. Okay, I'm going to go with the one on the bottom because my finger caught on it. It is Rose. And there is a picture of Mother Mary. Oh my God, we talked about this. We talked about Mother Mary yesterday. I told Sarah that I often look at my statue of Mother Mary and say, like, how am I supposed to do all this? Or something like that. But a flower essence, when people are coming to you for lots of healing work, they're asking so much of you. Rose is maybe the flower essence to turn to. Because, we want to keep the heart open regardless. I remember that too, right? And we want to be able to stay in that place of service to the all. We are here to serve humanity. There's no doubt about that. So let me look up Rose. We all know what Rose is, but it is certainly a beautiful symbol of cosmic love, accessible through the human heart. The plant is deeply rooted. I don't know if I knew that about the rose. It's very deeply rooted and very tenacious, and it is able to surmount great obstacles such as extreme weather conditions. So, second message for you to get your roots deep, to ground your energy. So the flower essence of rose is one of the purest vibrations in existence. Whatever its color or species, it always invokes the most profound manifestations of love, accomplishing this through a gentle stimulation of the heart chakra, located at the center of the human body. So that is the Mother Mary, Virgin Mary, the Queen of Heaven, Mother of the World. That's who we're looking at here. She has a pink rose on the left side of her, which actually would be the right side of her, and a yellow rose on the other side. There's a rainbow going from rose to rose over her head. She is illuminated, her head's illuminated, and she is actually sitting on the ground. So at the mystical core of Christianity, the Virgin Mary is revealed as a goddess, she who embodies the immaculate mystery of birth and is the source of all that is sacred. Although if you're reading the book I'm reading right now called Jesus, My Autobiography, you'll know that that's just a story, and Jesus says his parents did it the old-fashioned way. All right, anyways, Mary, the moon, gives birth to the light of the world in the form of the cosmic child. So yeah, our culture has definitely lost this connection to the, mythology. But, if you ever look into Waldorf, that's where we're going to go next. The Austrian mystic Rudolf Steiner, he founded the Waldorf schools, offers a unique perspective of the birth of Christ, suggesting that Mary, in fact, gave birth to twin souls. One, the yellow rose, dedicated to the path of truth. The other, the pink rose, dedicated to the path of the heart. So the yellow rose is the path of truth. The pink rose is the path of the heart. And in this way, according to Steiner, Mary offered the world the forces of both universal truth and universal love. So how are you going, other people looking in is seeing you as this source of universal truth, of universal love. So fake it till you make it, girl. Keep doing your work. If in choosing this card, you are greeted by the Rose Goddess, gently announcing your readiness to accept the twin gifts of cosmic love and wisdom embodied by the mystic rose. So yeah, you really aren't going to have to fake it too much or too long, if any, because you're just about at the corner. And right around the corner is that miracle, and you're like almost there. Can you feel it? You're like almost there. So here's your blessing from Rose Essence. Holy Rose, Queen of Love, your beauty is divine. Sacred is your tenderness, jewel of nature, sweet and kind. So hibiscus and rose, yum. Okay, let's move on to the Magician. That was your present card, the reversed Magician. So you're so close to manifesting how you want. Not that it's what you want, but it's how you want. Because at the core of your being, you can create your reality. You're a manifester. The Magician. So that's why it really frustrates you that you're not manifesting how you could be, because you know how to do it. It's just you're fine-tuning and you're tweaking. And you're going to purify your mind. You're going to clarify and get your thoughts either neutral or positive, and you're just not going to accept anything less at this point. So that negativity can take a hike. All right, so let's get a flower essence for the Magician, for the present moment, for creating. So enough of the miscreating. This is for Sarah, present, reverse Magician. Okay, you got Passion Flower. This has Krishna, little blue man with a flute, running on the beach, playing his music. There's some angels in the sky around him. And yeah, he's by the ocean. Passion Flower is beautiful. So here's your present remedy. The Passion Flower. Let me see if I can find it here. Passion Flower. So it's named for its resemblance to the finely cut corona at the center of Christ's crown of thorns. So another, you kind of have two back-to-back super Christian cards. Okay, so they were thought, to symbolize the elements of the crucifixion. The three stigmas, which receive the pollen, represent the nails. They have got the whole storyline going on with this flower. So I haven't got to that part of my book, but this book called Jesus, My Autobiography, is definitely going to spark a lot of debate for the people who read it. Okay, so let's talk about the Passion Flower essence, the flower essence. This penetrating elixir helps us understand the deepest possible meaning of our own personal suffering. So if you are suffering in the present moment, Passion Flower is reaching out to you to help us understand the deepest possible meaning of our own personal suffering, after which it assists in the ascent to our truest calling of service on the planet. As we surrender our souls to the sorrows and hardships that have been endured in this lifetime, we begin to experience these hardships as stepping stones or teachings that can lead to a resurrection into greater love and compassion. So Rose came in to give you this, people are looking to you for the love and compassion. But in order for you to help them, you got to heal and help yourself first, and start to see everything as a stepping stone and a direction and a lesson to greater love and compassion. So this does have Krishna on it, and it is not surprising that we find a great deal of correlation in mystical and mythical teachings concerning Jesus and Krishna, since there is ample evidence to suggest that around the time of Christ, even before his arrival on the world scene, a lively trade route existed between India and the Middle East. I'm going to interrupt myself because I do see something in the book where Jesus, he is getting ready actually now to travel to, I think, India. So it'll be interesting for me to read this book now that I have pulled this passion flower essence for you. So anyways, there's a bunch of correlations. And, because like they both came from the sacred female divinity. Their birth was announced by a brilliant star. That's both part of their stories. They have very similar stories. Maybe not true stories, but stories similar indeed. And they were both hailed as redeemers who had descended the earth in order to refine and attune the masses to the principle of heart-centered truth. However, in this book, Jesus says that he was a normal man, and we just like us, and we all have this potential to tap into these higher energies, to ascend our vibration, to get out of the illusion, and to basically not have to come back. Which is good news to me. It motivates me to do my work. All right, so when the passion flower comes to you, Sarah, you are called to the inner sanctuary of your soul in order to resurrect the divine love and compassion held therein. So your 150th confirmation to open your heart regardless. Like the vine of the passion flower, you reach ever upward through whatever suffering and hardship you have experienced on your long journey to the source of all light, which is true knowledge. So no matter what has happened, you're just always reaching for the light. You're always looking for that connection. It's our nature. It truly is. Just like a plant grows toward the light, humans naturally reach for the light within. So your blessing from passion flower. Holy flower of the vine, passion flower, you are thine. Rise above to starlight sun, showering compassion on everyone. So that really truly is your gift to the world. And that's why you got the Mother Mary card, because people need it from you. Like, you truly are going to be a way shower for the people around you. And with your podcast now, you have the ability to reach out so much farther than you would just in your local town and city. So I think that's cool. All right, here's your last card. Now this was all about, okay, I have to look out, so there's a glare. There's first step and then the thought. Okay, yeah, so this was all about like you, oh my gosh, it is all about your mind at this point and cleaning it up and perfecting your focus and letting in your guidance, only the positive. And that is your first step, is really making it a top priority, even before you're addressing your physical body. I mean, you should always continue to do that. But even before and above that, you must heal your mind and you must clear your mind. So let's get a flower essence for Sarah about the first step and thought in clearing her mind. And this is obviously your card. Ooh, girl. Uh-oh. You got morning glory. Now, if you have heard my saga with this bee, But she is the perfect card to come through. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a more positive message when I read to you from the Oracle Guidebook. But this to me says those negative thoughts are going to be determined to stay. They're going to be vicious. They're going to lie dormant in the back of your mind, just like the morning glory does, right? It just lies dormant until you're not looking, and then there she goes, hoeing up on everybody. She drives me nuts. But she is a good reminder that we have to stay ahead of her. So if she represents the negative thoughts, then you've got to do your work to keep her out of your garden, your mental garden. So if you got to go in there every day and be aware of the negative thoughts, transmute, heal, and redirect them, then that's what you've got to do. So, I mean, Morning Glory does have other messages. In one of my decks, she's all about awakening to the magic, and there's going to be another message here, but the one that I am personally getting from my personal reference guidebook up in my head is that this is going to be a little bit of a challenge to clarify your thought process, but I know you can do it, especially when you got unconditional love, you've got universal truth, you've got all these beautiful essences and energies backing you up, flowing out of you. You're anchoring down into the earth. You're looking for that stability. You're being grounded. I mean, you can totally do this. I can totally do this. We can clean up our minds, faux show, but it's going to take determination. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see what Morning Glory has to say as a flower essence, though. Not just that. And these are the blue Morning Glories, which is not what I have in my garden. I have the skanky hoe white ones. So maybe the blue ones are different and people appreciate them more, but not the ones that have, infested my garden. It's a summer annual plant, this blue Morning Glory. It's got large bell-like flowers, and yeah, they are pretty. They are pretty. Typically a radiant blue, and yeah, they can climb along fence posts and rock walls and all the plants around them. So let's talk about the flower essence. See, look at me, I'm being negative. I gotta knock that off. The glorious spectacle of this beautiful plant in the early morning sun awakens one to the essential harmonies of nature and inspires a renewed sense of soulful enthusiasm. So maybe this is a message for you to get up early and get outside with your celery juice. No, do you want to take your coffee? No, take your celery juice. Take your lemon water and your celery juice. So as a flower elixir, Morning Glory awakens the spirit, attuning the individual to his or her own shimmering brilliance and vitality. It can serve as a rejuvenating tonic, melting away patterns of lethargy or inertia. Okay, so that is actually a really cool flower essence to get when you're looking forward, that first step. If you've been tired, right? We do need something to melt away that pattern of tiredness, of lethargy, of, you just don't feel like moving. Morning Glory, I guess, helps get you going. So this is, I forgot to even tell you, I was so busy about telling you about the hose in my garden. There is a beautiful goddess under this Morning Glory plant. She's got long, blondish, pinkish hair and a pinkish and orange flowing dress. And this is the New World Goddess. Aw, this is getting sweeter for me. So your archetype for the next step for you is the New World Goddess. I mean, because hello, it's you. You're a new world goddess. You are. Absolutely. Just as morning glory blossoms grow and sparkle in the shimmering radiance of the glorious rising sun, each cell of the new world goddess's body becomes luminous upon awakening to the light. And just as the morning glory is adorned with heart-shaped leaves, so the new world goddess is adorned with loving images and symbols. An ardent prayer of gratitude rises in her heart, for she is again, and always has been, one with Anima Mundi, the world soul. So your healing advice is, this is a fervent call to the realization of your own unique destiny, as well as to the future evolution of humanity. The time has come for you to embrace the new world goddess, the sacred womb which brings feminine wisdom to all actions, deeds, and creations. Seek resolution. Let the old world die away. Listen to the new voice emerging within your mind and heart. Heeding the call of the millennial oracle, the new world woman now at last reemerges from the dormancy of the last 5,000 years. So these new thoughts that are going to be coming in your head are for the new world. So yeah, let the old clutter go, let the old relationships go, let the old world die. Because it's only in death that rebirth is allowed to manifest. So here's your blessing. Thank you so much for letting me pull cards for you. Morning glory, the goddess anew, a flowering vine in radiant blue. I speak my truth. I live my dreams. I am vibrant, alive, and fully seen. Wow, did you hear that? Fully seen. So yeah, I would take a heads up, my soul sister, that you do need to get your energy in alignment and clear out and get everything within just in perfect alignment with your higher self and your higher purpose, because you are going to be seen more and more and more. There is no avoiding that. That is your calling. So I hope you enjoyed your reading so much. I'll tell you what, I send so much love to you. You have been so helpful to me personally, and you're so enjoyable, and it was truly so fun to pull you all these cards. I hope a few of them resonated. I hope you enjoyed the message. But yeah, so beautiful to look along these lines of flower essences: hibiscus, rose, passion flower, and morning glory. They just really are so powerful because they are all based in love. So open that heart regardless. Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody else who hung out and listened in. Dang, sometimes I'm just not in a hurry. Like, hello world, I am just not rushing for you. Sometimes what I need to do is just sit here and play with my cards. So that's what we do. Another day, another dollar. So funny. You guys, so much love. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Get outside, get grounded. Make sure you are I want to say referee of your mind. Make sure you are in there. It's your mind. So get in there and clean up. All right, I'll see you again tomorrow.